What's going on in there, Saki?
I only just got here myself. We still don't know what exactly is happening inside, but according to those who have escaped, there are gray space entities in there.
Gray space entities? How did those things get into Meroria?
I'd sent someone to check Miroria's external defenses, and there's no sign of a breach. Nor is there any sign of a gray space entities invasion. It's like they just materialized out of thin air. There are currently some issues with the building's internal power supply. Some floors have lost all their powers, while the security and monitoring systems are malfunctioning. I'm arranging a floor-by-floor inspection.
There's no time for that. Our priority is to secure those samples.
You know I have limited manpower. I need to maintain order, get the crowd out of here, and lessen any negative impacts of the attack.
I'll think of something. Has Dr. Clive been informed of what's going on?
He's on his way. He'd been resting at the research center, and was thankfully not caught up in any of this.
Okay, good. Saki, you take your team and look for survivors on each floor. We'll take over the investigation.
Understood. However, you should note that the lift to the conference venue is also currently malfunctioning. You can find and restart the power supply on the ground floor, which should fix the problem. careful.
What? What do you want?
Careful, it's too dangerous!
The scene is...
Max he extracted.
He's got a few scratches, nothing serious. He's been taken to headquarters to be patched up. Larson wants us to go there and ascertain the cause of all this.
Let's go then.
Dr. Clive, I need a straight answer. Can you guarantee that the artificial Christomax is safe now?
Archon, during the incident, the Christomax displayed a field ability hitherto unseen in all of our experiments. We need to conduct more comprehensive tests on the sample, and until we do, I am unable to...
Dr. Clive, do you have any idea?
That creature in the hall was actually an artificial Christomax parasite in a Singer-type droid. What's more, after successfully taking control of its host, that Christomax displayed a field ability we had not seen before. It was totally beyond anything we could have imagined. We incorporated tissue samples from 3 known abyssins in cultivating this Christomax, but none of them had this ability to pass through solid walls, so... This Christomax seems to have evolved new field abilities during its... This trait is something we've never seen or even considered before, I admit. Perhaps I was too optimistic, let myself get a little careless. I will take full responsibility for this incident.
Moreover, reports from the scene indicate that the out-of-control abyssin displayed some abnormal behavior before it was defeated. Our information suggests that it seems to possess human-like intelligence, acts with purpose, and even makes human-sounding noises. Lynn, you were the closest to that thing. Do you think it possessed a level of intelligence similar to our own?
I'm sorry, Archon. Nothing really jumped out at me. While its behavior was certainly out of the ordinary, I don't think it really has the ability to communicate with us. After all, it's not a real gray space entity, just an artificial Christomax, a parasite on a mechanical host. Perhaps it was unconsciously imitating our behavior, and merely...
Gray space entities are communicating with humans. In all of my research, I've never even heard of such a thing.
I think I have a good grasp of what transpired now. Our forensics... Dr. Clive, I've ordered the artificial Christomax to be transferred to the secure lab at headquarters. You may conduct subsequent safety tests there. I shall be keenly awaiting the results. I believe that covers everything for today. Dismissed.
Was there anything else?
Actually, Lynn, that abyssint. At the time, I felt like it was trying to communicate with us too. It also wasn't displaying a clear intention to attack. Before Dr. Clive fired the first shot, at least.
So you also think it was trying to talk to us?
Miss Lynn, it might be a good idea to suggest Archon Larson and Dr. Clive pay more attention to this idea.
I'll certainly bear your suggestions in mind. Thank you.
To discuss with you. We're on standby. We'll be waiting for you at the Security Special Forces rooftop. Please come see me as soon as you can. Sounds serious from Saki's tone. Could it have something to do with the last gray space entity assault? Better go see her now. Ruby's identity has always been mysterious. position at Cloud Top if you were there. Did I miss anything that went down between Lynn and the monster? Before Dr. Fly suddenly came in and opened fire, the enemy wasn't hostile. It was trying to communicate with Lynn. But if Miss Lynn wanted to fight this monster, she could have sent Shirley and me away and taken care of it herself. I believe in Miss Lynn. She has always acted in the best interest of the people here. There must be something more to this than we know. I also trust that Lynn would never betray Gloria. Her actions are, indeed, we have to trust her and Larson wants both of you to be there at his position. Giving me hope Lynn can explain this. Miss Lynn, let's go in.
Don't forget what I told you before you slept.
I remember.
Then wait here for me. I'll be right out.
Uh-huh.
Let's go then.
Let's go. Ruby?
Looks like we have two new faces in our midst.
Oh, let me introduce you. These two are Executor and Shirley from District 9. This is...
Hello, I'm Tianlong. Hey, Lyra, why don't you come and say hi?
Greetings, I'm Lyra. Tianlong is District 7's High Executor and is dispatched on a mission. Ms. Lyra is the current president of the Madeline Foundation, as well as Archon Larson's special consultant.
I'm sorry that my work required me elsewhere.
No, everything happened because of me. Sorry for taking up all your time.
Now that we're all here, let's get started.
Archon Larson.
I believe everyone here already knows about what happened a few days ago at the Listener Conference. Despite how the puppet singer was destroyed, and the artificial Christomax was relocated, these concerns are understandable since gray space entity attacks have never happened inside Miroria. If we cannot guarantee... Captain Saki Fuwa has doubled the patrols in Miroria, and Lyra will be assisting in... However, these are but contingencies and responses to an emergency incident. We need... Lin, Captain Saki Fuwa should have already relayed the results of the investigation to you. Would you...
Now that the Security Special Forces reports are out, there's nothing more I concealed it, not because I have an agenda or harbor ill will. They're just some...
Forgive me for being frank, Miss Lin. This thing has profound influences. If we can't work together and...
Archon Larson, please let me handle the follow-up to this incident. I promise I'll present a satisfactory answer to everyone. I'll just need some extra time.
Lin spoke Ruby's name. That's the kid who hangs around you. The Security Special Forces have completed their investigation into Ruby's identity.
Archon Larson, I vouch for Ruby that she's always been a good kid. I'll educate her well and be held responsible for all...
I don't need you to take responsibility. I only want to know what the relationship between that kid and the artificial
Security alert. All non-combatants, please proceed to the nearest safe zone.
Ruby. Archon Larson, please give the order to lock down all exits immediately.
You have your orders, Captain Saki Fuwa. Don't worry about me.
Captain, that artificial Christomax suddenly went out of control. We're sending machine guards to suppress it.
That artificial Christomax again. What's going on with it? Look, the storage vessel for the artificial Christomax. It's completely shattered. What happened here?
The machine guards couldn't stop it. We have to find Ruby.
The wreckage went through the room ahead.
Captain Saki Fuwa.
Archon Larson.
Take Ruby to the infirmary and keep her safe.
Yes, sir!
Lin, I need an explanation from you. The artificial Christomax has caused many security incidents. I hope now you can see how this thing doesn't just...
Archon Larson, I will give you all the information I have, but...
You can give me your demands, but I can't promise anything.
I need you to give me your word that you'll assure Ruby's safety after hearing what I have to say. Ruby is not really a human. She's the result of an experiment trying to fuse humans and gray space entities.
What? Ruby... She's...
An artificial gray space entity. Just like what Dr. Clive did.
To a certain extent, yes. Ruby and the artificial gray space entity in the listener testing ground are the same. That artificial Christomax may be attracted. Do you remember who Rubilia is, Archon Larson?
Dr. Rubilia, the first supervisor of Project Listener. That kid is a true genius. If it weren't for the accident, she could have achieved...
An accident?
2 years ago, in a routine collection mission on the surface, Rubilia went missing in a gray space entity attack. Her project was then handed off to Dr. Clive.
Wait, what happened to Dr. Rubilia took place 2 years ago. And that's also when Ruby appeared in Meroria.
Rubilia used her own genetic code to fuse with the gray space entity in the experiment. That's how Ruby was born.
Fusing human DNA with that of the gray space entity is directly forbidden by Archon Harunobu. What Dr. Rubilia did was...
Since her father died, Rubilia's been running those forbidden experiments in her secret lab. I only learned of it when I found her journal by accident. I put a stop to her experiments and sealed off the lab. Out of many concerns, I didn't make it public. Instead,
You mean she didn't go missing because of the gray space entity attack? But it was by your orders?
Yes. I only wanted this thing to go away at the time. Rubilia's experiments were too extreme. I didn't know what would happen if they went public, so I leveraged my position to conceal it all.
If Rubilia really did create a superior abyssant with human intelligence and in human form, but outside of human control, Lynn, how many like Ruby are out there? Are there any in this city that remain undiscovered?
Archon Larson, Ruby is the only test subject left alive. She possesses a human mind. I can assure you that she'll not lose control and become a monster and threaten the safety of everyone.
Even if you can prove that Ruby doesn't pose a threat, there's been no change in her situation after she absorbed that artificial Christomax. Lynn, Executor, and Shirley, please stay here. I'll decide the next course.
Larson, I only wish for Ruby to be treated as a human, not a...
I have my own thoughts on this, but I can assure you that Ruby will be safe.
Yes!
Ruby is still in a coma. We did a full examination on her, but due to her unique physical conditions, we cannot assess her status using normal human standards. Dr. Clive is assessing Ruby's situation, but he informed us that it might be difficult to do so with our current technology. Lynn, there must be some research data left behind in Rubilia's lab, right?
Yes. Even though I sealed off the lab, I did not destroy the research data. I planned on revealing the whole thing once Project...
We're facing a problem, and the redacted data may hold the key to solving it. We cannot... Only you know the location of the lab, Lynn. I will need you to take a team and retrieve the research data.
Yes, sir.
I'll send someone to go with you. The safety of Meroria hangs in the balance, and we cannot afford another accident.
Archon Larson has told me all about it. Ms. Lin, it seems like you've kept quite a number of things from us.
Tianlong, Miss Lyra.
Lin, long time no see.
Miss Lyra will remain in Meroria to assist us with this investigation. Tianlong will go with you to the restricted experiment zone. Lin, do not disappoint us again.
Oh, you got Archon Larson so mad?
If you have time to chit-chat, why don't you contribute to planning our next move?
Huh. Looks like we're the ones tasked with this special op. Captain Lin, what dangerous...
Why so serious? We're just investigating in a bit...
Huh? Archon Larson recalled me for an emergency situation. And it turned out to be such a simple...
Your mission is not just to assist with the investigation, but to keep an eye on...
Miss Lin, that's not a nice thing to say. I'm only here to help you complete the mission. That's all.
Miss Lin, what do we have to know about that lab?
There are no security systems installed in the lab, but it holds a great number of gray space entity samples. The samples should either be in stasis or deceased, but we really don't have enough information. I've relayed the lab coordinates to you. Make sure you've received them. This is the entrance to the lab.
Well, this is a secluded place. I'm impressed that Rubilia could find it.
Before Rubilia repurposed it into her lab, it used to be an abandoned factory. I'll take you straight to the testing labs. Stay close, and don't wander off. The lab's primary power has been cut. We'll need to restore the lighting first. The power control console is right over there. This was used as a showroom for data on Phase 1 of Project Listener, even though the information is already public.
How many things did Rubilia hide in here?
The entire Project Listener Phase 1 research is here. We're only seeing a small part of it.
Oh?
Look out!
Better be careful.
It's not over yet.
Lynn, you didn't say the gray space entities may still be active here.
Maybe a test subject got free. Stay on your toes, and prepare. The lower labs are right up ahead.
Gives me the chills.
The gray space entities in stasis were key subjects used for Rubilia's research. We may be able to find some clues that I missed previously. There are only some research samples here. The key research data is kept in Rubilia's quarters. Follow me. That small room ahead is Rubilia's living quarters.
Is Dr. Rubilia living there all by herself?
No way! There's no way we can get through so many gray space entities.
She's no mad scientist. They were just things that she had to do. Let's head inside. Maybe we'll find some useful information.
What would I tell Archon Larson if I were to go back empty-handed? What is this?
Features do not match. Verification failed.
Move out of the way.
Features do not match. Verification failed. Retrieving alternative data. Features match. Identity verified.
Lynn, Rubilia left this lockbox for you, didn't she? We all saw it.
Rubilia has never mentioned anything about it to me. This lockbox.
It's really well hidden. Wonder what's in there.
I'm not sure what's inside. The internal workings of this lockbox are extremely intricate. Opening...
We better take the lockbox back to Miroria first, and see what Archon
Fine. You keep the lockbox safe, Tianlong. This...
Fine, fine. At least it's something to tell.
Be on your guard.
Man, I really don't want to stay here a second longer than I have to.
The facilities have not been maintained for a long time. Other test subjects may have gotten free as well. We should hurry.